Marshmallow Fanboy back with another review. This time it's going to be a little bit different. You're thinking, what do these three figures have in common? They're from three different waves. And there is one thing that unifies them in my mind, and that's because of the Marvel Legends Avengers 60th Anniversary series, which has this set. Captain Marvel and Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom, of course, from his Secret Wars appearance, which triggered me thinking I would love more Secret Wars figures. And then it occurred to me that Marvel is always releasing Secret Wars figures. They're just not calling them Secret Wars figures. So today I'm going to open Captain Marvel and Doctor Doom. I'm going to open Ultron, Magneto from X-Men 97, Molecule Man, and I'm going to open Hawkeye with his Sky Cycle. Figure I've been looking very forward to, and I hope you guys are too. So I'm going to get to it. But before I do, let's take a closer look at the packaging for Marvel Legends series Hawkeye, which has him on the Sky Cycle. The Sky Cycle was ubiquitous in the 80s at some point. It wasn't just West Coast Avengers, it was an Avengers mainstay vehicle. Also, for any character that couldn't fly, the explanation of how they would get there when their teammates would get there was they would take Sky Cycles. So there were multiple Sky Cycles running around. So this is going to come with a stand. Looks like it probably has a ball joint. Some of them do. One example I can think of is the Goblin Glider has this stand and it has a ball joint so you can tilt that Goblin Glider any way you want to. It, of course, comes with the bow, comes with an arrow, comes with a quiver of arrows that don't move, I imagine, and 2 extra hands. And Captain Marvel versus Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom in the crouch as though he's absorbing Beyonder's powers. And Captain Marvel comes with 2 different hands, 2 fists. Doctor Doom comes with a variety of things. He comes with his face restored because he now has the Beyonder's powers. He comes with the Doom mask, and he comes with the hood with the mask. I'm not sure if that's an extra head or if you just put the hood on and he has the regular head. I'm not sure how that works. We're going to open it. We're going to find out. And he comes with 2 fists also. Magneto from X-Men 97 is the most recent release. And he looks just really classic. He doesn't look real... I get that it's supposed to be animated, but doesn't look very animated except for the sort of primary color. And I know purple's not a primary color, but it's still kind of bright colors. No real... There's a little bit of a wash, I guess, in the muscles, but not really. Now, this is packaged in the retro packaging, in sort of the Toy Biz packaging, which doesn't make it retro or anything. That's just what their choice has been for this set. And I'm guessing that because it's aimed more toward kids, because there's a cartoon involved, that they're just trying to make it immediately recognizable. And we got Ultron. This is the second Ultron in about 3 or 4 years. I can't remember what we got with an Ultron in it last time. And I'm not sure what the difference is between that Ultron and this Ultron. But all Ultrons are pretty classic. This one came with the Ant-Man series, which I haven't gotten yet, but I will be getting them as prices drop. And this has Build-A-Figure. Cassie Lang has Ultron. Of course, it has 3 different hands and the Kirby Crackle, which is what we call it, the Jack Kirby's Kirby Crackle. And last but not least, we have Molecule Man, the man who was brave enough, or maybe not brave enough, he was maybe dumb enough to drop a mountain on the Incredible Hulk. It was a bad move, Molecule Man, but turns out it was a good move. He survived. So, Molecule Man will come with a puff adder leg, and he will come with 2 power effects and 2 fists, which is very cool. Molecule Man is one of those villains that you sort of felt a little bit sorry for in Secret Wars, like maybe he could have been on the other side if had given a chance. But I don't know if he got his powers over there like Titania. I think Titania got her power over there. I can't quite remember. It's been a while since I've reread it, but Molecule Man is classic. He is awesome. I wish he had sort of the lightning scars on his face. I wonder if he does have the lightning scars on his face. So I thought he had the lightning scars of Secret Wars. We're still going to open him, but may not be completely accurate to Secret Wars, but he was a huge part of Secret Wars. So what we're going to do is we're going to open all 5 of these. Stay tuned. All right. Now that I've broken these guys out, let's take a closer look at each one of them. I'm not going to roll through their articulation. I just want you to get a good look at these figures. And I'm going to start with Ultron. First, Ultron has 3 separate hands. He has enough to do 2 fists, 1 on each hand, and 2 open grips. And sort of the maniacal sort of motioning hand there. It's a nice selection for Ultron. The way that this differs from the last version of Ultron was the Kirby crackle could be put in his mouth, and now it solidly looks like there's a piece in the head that gives you a little bit of the Kirby crackle effect in the mouth, but there's no place to put the Kirby crackle that he was holding in his hand. I didn't coin the phrase Kirby crackle. I can't remember. Somebody coined it when the last Ultron came out, and this piece was with it, because it looks like what Kirby used to draw as far as Ultron goes, or as far as any cosmic being went. But it's really cool. I can't get it kind of clear, but it's a very cool piece. Black and red, really nice detail in it. I'm going to set that aside. And this Ultron is pretty standard. Has little weather veins next to his head. I don't know what those are. He's got the spikes on his shoulders. Those are very cool. Not all versions of Ultron have those spikes. A little closer, sort of some nice details on him. He is maybe not... he doesn't have a wash, so it doesn't bring out a lot of the detail. But there's some detail in there. Pretty sure that all of that is maybe... I want to say it's Secret Wars. I want to say everything here is Secret Wars because I'm looking at it. But it's really cool. That is Ultron. And like I said, I'm not going to go through the articulation. But it's really cool. I can't remember how big a role Ultron had in Secret Wars. I don't remember him too much. You know, the rest of the characters here, except for maybe the heroes, but definitely Molecule Man, Magneto, and Doctor Doom had huge roles in Secret Wars. I don't remember Captain Marvel or Hawkeye, really. I know Hawkeye was on the cover. I think he was on the cover. I'm not sure. Captain Marvel was definitely there. Absolutely. But I can't tell you how big a role they played in it. So let's take a look at Molecule Man. Molecule Man does have the scarring, the sort of the electrical kind of scarring around his face, which he did in the comic. He has 2 energy effects. One I put on. He has sort of the maniacal motioning hand. He has another one for his other hand, if in case you want to motion him dropping a mountain on the Hulk. And he has another fist that you can put in there so he can wield both of those effects. Let me take out the effect in the one hand. Okay, close in on his head. And you can see he has the scarring right around his face. Just a really nice detail. He has the tunic with the kind of the lightning energy, which is only broken by the ab crunch, but goes right over. It's stiff plastic, so it holds its shape. There's a little kind of a skirt thingy, but of course this was all one part of the uniform, and then the belt was kind of over the shirt, which was sort of an 80s look. And the green jumpsuit and the purple boots is just extremely Molecule Man. He's a guy in Secret Wars that you just thought this poor guy has gotten kind of picked on his whole life, and now he's got a lot of power, and people are super impressed by it because he could be their ticket off the Beyonders world. And he's like kind of flexing for the girls, trying to be cool, and he drops a mountain on the Hulk. It's awesome. Those are those quintessential 80s moments, but the whole of Secret Wars kind of was. So I'm going to put Molecule Man aside, and we're going to take a closer look at Magneto. Magneto was miscast as a villain in Secret Wars. What ends up happening is he sort of breaks away from the villains and kind of goes on his own, but the mutants, the hero mutants, also kind of feel a little like they don't completely belong on the hero side, so they all sort of take off together. There's a great cover, Secret Wars number 3, with Spider-Man taking on the X-Men. Once he finds out that they're all splitting, he sort of is kind of eavesdropping, and Professor X notices it, and they're going to attack him. He sort of attacks them first, and he's got them down, and he goes to Reed to tell Reed what's going on. And of course, Charles kind of erases his mind. Something that was always really taboo in the X-Men series was Charles tampering with memories. Of course, now it's the year 2023, and we find out that Charles has done a ton of tampering with people's memories. So it's not as precious as it used to be, but it was pretty alarming back in the 80s. But he's got a little bit of a wash in the abs, I think. I don't think that's my imagination, no. But just a classic red and purple. Just, one color, not a gradation at all. Let me see if the helmet comes off. Okay, the helmet does not come off. There's kind of flaps, and you can peel at that. But I didn't go any further with that. I didn't want to damage the helmet or tear it or anything. It's pretty sturdy. But it definitely has a little bit of a flap, there. But the rest of it seems pretty solid. Of course, it's got the design on the top, and it's not his M logo uniform. It's his classic I Fight, the original class of X-Men uniform, and it's really cool. I don't know in the X-Men '97 series, because I didn't catch the cartoon when I was younger, but I don't know if Magneto is one of the X-Men in this, or if he's a villain in the series. But either way, I'm looking forward to catching up on some of those episodes, watching them, and trying out the new show also. Let's take a closer look. See, I'll zoom back out. Let's take a look at Doctor Doom. Dr. Doom I was most excited about because he's a huge player in Secret Wars. And what happens is he uses Claw as kind of a focusing tool. Claw is, of course, robotic, and he's sort of he's made out of sound. Maybe he's made out of sound. Maybe he's less robot. I'm not absolutely sure. But he kind of cuts him up into pieces, and he finds a way to focus the Beyonder's power into him. And he's able to wield the Beyonder's power for a little while. I can't remember if it's all the way to the end of the series or not, but Doctor Doom is always there. He's ever present. He's in the background. He is, trying to kill everybody, get all of the Beyonder's power, even though he's kind of found a shortcut, and he's not above just taking it instead of winning it. Oh, I should have said that Magneto had two red fists. There you go. That's out of the way. Also, is it weird that Magneto has not flesh-colored hands like he does in the comics, and he just has sort of red gloves? Is that bothering anybody but me? Okay, moving on. So I've got him holding the mask here. He has a fully Doctor Doom head with the eyes poking through, which is weird because you don't usually see that in the figure, but you definitely see that in the comic book, and you definitely see that on the cover of, I think, maybe number 10. You can see his eyes peeking out from behind. And, of course, two fists. And, of course, the two fists. And the mask here so he can kind of hold it or whatnot. I got his fists to the side down there, but I put on sort of more expressive hands, mostly so I could stick his fingers through the eye holes of his mask so he could hold it. I'm not sure how else he would hold it. I'm sure you guys have found real creative ways to do it, but I have not. So he's gonna just stick his fingers through the eye sockets. So there's some reuse here. Mostly I only know because of the double pin knees and the double pin elbows. I'm not sure if that was from another Doctor Doom or maybe an Ultron or an old Ultron or something like that. Let me take the mask out of his. Okay. In addition to his hooded head, of course, he has the unmasked Von Doom head. Without the scarring, he's got the power of the Beyonder, so he just instantly fixes himself. It's his vanity that sort of is his downfall every time. And he's got the super tech armor on, which he uses to focus the Beyonder's power in the book. It's a really nice touch. Really nice. It has a little wash. It has sort of points of difference. It's glossy, so it looks like armor. The silver is not glossy, but it is shiny, and that's nice. He has the hood here that's removable if you want it to be, but it's his hood down look. Also, his the green is a little translucent, so I'm not sure why that is, but the back part seems translucent. And the front part seems like it's not translucent. I'm going to say not translucent, though I'm not absolutely sure right now whether it is or not. But it's a really great likeness of Doctor Doom. I don't know if it's 1,000% accurate because of some of the reuse and things, but this is passable. This is absolutely, Doctor Doom from the cover of Secret Wars number 10, Doctor Doom. It's an awesome likeness, and he is a game changer in that book. He's absolutely kind of ruthless and cunning and everything you would want Doctor Doom to be. In a way, Secret Wars is a book in which the villains shine. And I know it's real weird, but most of the things that I remember about Secret Wars are some of the interactions with the villains, or some of the the villains' conversations, or some of their motivations, or just them kind of going off on their own. Galactus trying to eat the planet, while Doctor Doom tries to absorb all the stuff, and Molecule Man is just kind of showing off. So there's a lot of villain stuff. Magneto, not necessarily a villain at this point in the X-Men mythology. He is, friendly with the X-Men. So I don't think they're enemies at that point in the 80s, but I'm not absolutely sure. But let's move on to Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel I was really excited about because we just got Photon. Actually, I don't know what order that came in. I don't know if Photon came first or Captain Marvel came first. But I think that this is a Monica Rambeau year. I think we're going to get the modern version of Photon, the one that is running around the Marvel universe right now, the one that just finished a mini series and is about to be in a big movie in November. So it's definitely a Monica Rambeau year. So it looks just like her. I love the wings are separate pieces. They're stuck onto the arm, so that when you move the arm, it kind of flows with it. So it's not cloth, so it's not sagging down. It holds its shape. But you can see where it kind of breaks in places. And it's just a really cool figure. It doesn't have all of the newer articulation on the arms. It doesn't look like, and on the torso, it of course has the mid-torso rocker and then just an unbroken waist. It looks really good. That those blacks and whites are just like in the comic book. They're just exact, and the black starburst is really cool, and the hair absolutely faithful. For the Avengers 60th anniversary, it's great to get Monica in it. I don't know what Doctor Doom has to do with the Avengers 60th anniversary, but technically the Avengers were in Secret Wars, so I'm going to give it a pass. I'm just going to give it a pass. I loved Secret Wars. I love Secret Wars. I should reread it just so I'm better informed, but really loved Secret Wars. Now I'm going to move that over here. Last but not least is Hawkeye. Hawkeye comes with the Sky Cycle. They're double packaged, and he comes with one single solitary arrow right there, and he comes with, mine came with two open hands and two fists. Unfortunately, both of my fists are, let's see, are they the same? Yeah, they're still the same. I'm like, are they still the same? They're both, let's see, right hands. They're both right fists. So one came on the left hand of Hawkeye. So when I took it off, I was like, that hand does not belong there. That is a mutant hand, and he is weird now. So it comes on this sort of ball jointed stand, which we're familiar with from the Goblin glider, things like that. It would be cool if this end here had a ball on it right there. That way you could kind of lay this, and it could be sitting on the three points here, and then you could attach the Sky Cycle there. Because if you go too far in one direction, it falls right over. If you do like that, that falls over. It'd probably be a little more stable if you could get it a little lower to the ground, but it's not bad. It's just wiggly on my base. It's a little loose. Yours will vary, of course. And it came in 3 pieces. There was the platform, and the main part was just snapped together real easy, and then the windshield snapped right on real easy. And it's not a snap. You can take it on and off. It's no problem at all. And of course, he comes with the bow. Comes with the arrows on his back. The arrows are real cool. They have the sort of the tech on it that looks like it would actually work, and put an arrow tip on the end and stuff. He has cloth on the part that hangs down in the front and the back, so that he can ride the Sky Cycle a little bit easier. I'm not going to go over the articulation, but good articulation. He can get onto the bike and everything, and that's cool. There is a part of the base here where this is kind of short and that's a little bit longer. So maybe the idea is that I can lean it way over and take advantage of the one foot that's a little bit longer than the other one. That one's short. And that's very cool, but it's very classic. The Sky Cycle was a big part of the Avengers and the West Coast Avengers back in the 80s, and I hate that they don't use it anymore, but they sort of teleport and just kind of are wherever they're needed, so you kind of don't need the Sky Cycle as a gimmick anymore. Whoop! I went too far on the one point. He fell right over. So that is Hawkeye and the Sky Cycle, and that is the Secret Wars inspired figures, or that inspired me to do sort of a Secret Wars figure opening. So until next time, enjoy your toys. Okay, so when I was taking this apart, what I found out was that the holder on the bottom is asymmetrical all the way around, which means that you can actually use this in 3 different ways. I have it on the highest level, but if you just tip it over, there, boom, it's on its lowest level, and you can put this back on, and we plug that in, boom, and now it does have more stability, and you can do more things with it. And then you can take this off, and then you can flip it over, and then it's on the second to highest. So this here is the highest level, and then you flip it over, and it's not as high, and then you flip it over and it's as low as it'll get. So there are 3 different settings you can set it to, which makes it really nice. If you're trying to get him just below somebody, like maybe Thing or Man-Thing or something, and maybe they're standing up tall and Hawkeye is here, but you want them to kind of tower above, you can absolutely do that. So there's a lot more to it. Also, you can turn it around. So if you wanted to point it kind of straight down, but have it stable, you can have the leg way out in front of it for stability, sort of in a pitch dive. So there's just it's really well thought out. And I mistakenly said that you could only do it on one level, and I should have known better. I think one of the other things was like that, an asymmetrical, and you could do it in 3 different levels too. But hopefully they keep thinking about these things and giving us more ways to pose out these vehicles. But it was really cool. I kind of messed up on that part of the review. I didn't really know that I had other options. So when you're looking around at your toys, remember, try them out in a few different configurations to see if you can't puzzle it out before, getting on the mic and having a review that doesn't make any sense. So until next time, enjoy your toys.